Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have a junk journal for you today. I was inspired by this channel. Our channel is just adorable. I have to link it in the links because I did not write it down, but it's just so pretty because I'm going to be using florals today. I did switch things up a bit, but the idea is most of you have wanted me to do a junk journal, and this is as junky as I get. I didn't bind it, but it is an album that has lots of pockets, and I definitely feel like it's a junk journal because it's more eclectic and kind of thrown together. And someone had asked me, can you do a project which is cardstock if I don't have scrap paper? And absolutely, that's what I'm doing today. And even though I am using pretty pieces of scrapbook paper, I'm going to show you alternative ways that you can still make your album pretty if you don't have those kind of papers. So as you can see, this one I did use scrapbook paper, but the inside was white. So it's really just the cover that is giving me this look. But again, I'm going to be using cardstock today, so we'll see how it looks with just the cardstock. So I have my cover here, and I've just made some writing space and just, added a little pocket here on the side. Here's another page with, I love the doily. I kind of ruined it there. But I've got a little side pocket here. This one I pasted down, but you're more than welcome to make that a pocket as well if you like. And here is where you have a top pocket. I'm going to be showing you this with a 12 by 12 paper, by the way. It's so simple. So, and then here I have a fun little flip out page so you can write some more memories or add pictures. And again, you're going to have another side pocket. So it's kind of like a one-page wonder ordeal. And then here I have a little section I flipped up. And then this, you have the option to make a pocket or kind of a flip out. And I really just loved how this came out right here. So I just left it. And I feel like it's a nice surprise. Like you could write a little note. You don't have to necessarily have a pocket. You could just clip things on and just make it really special. So this is the junk journal. All right, so what I want you to do is grab a 12 by 12 anything. It could be scrapbook paper, cardstock, anything you want, because you're all going to be able to create this today with anything we have, basically, as long as it's 12 by 12. So we're going to score it at 3, 6, and 9 inches. All right. Oh, I somehow got glue on here. So 3, 6, and 9. Now there's a couple ways to do this one page wonder, but I felt like I altered mine a little bit so it's easier to understand while I'm doing it. And then score it at 6 inch when you turn it around. And it's okay if your paper's bending because we're going to cover all that up. Okay, so you should have 8 boxes. Can you see that line? So there we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut an upside down T in our paper. So literally I'm just cutting here and here. So again, right here and here, and I'll show you as I go along. Right in the middle, up to that next score line. And I'm going to cut these two. So I'm going to just bend my paper so that I can get a better grip when I'm cutting it. And I'll show you what it looks like as soon as I'm done, so there's no confusion. So it's half of my T, and now I've got this side to do. But it's basically going to look like an upside down T. Okay. So can you see that? Just here, here, and in the middle. All right. Once you do that, we're going to take this left side here and fold it. And let me get this even. It doesn't look like I cut my lines too even. So I'm going to try and fix that. It's a little more forgiving when you're using printed paper. And then take this one and flip it this way. Just kind of like closing a door, I guess you could say. All right, so your paper is going to look like that. Simple, right? Now we're going to take the left side and fold it back. And we're going to do the same thing with this side. Just fold it backwards. All right, so you should have 4 square or rectangles left. You know what, let me just trim this right here, because you see that? Let me just trim it, because that may look pretty. I mean, it is junky, right? But okay, so once you do that, what we're going to do is kind of like pinch this in the middle and bring it up. And this is going to create our booklet. So don't worry about taping or anything yet. I just want you to see what the book looks like. So when you're done, it should have a, sorry, these are little things that are just driving me crazy. Okay, so it should have a cover, a side pocket that we have to seal, a top pocket right there, another side pocket we have to seal, and then the back. So that's pretty simple, right? So what I'm going to do is seal it with you guys. And what I liked is how in her method, she does not use glue in hers. And I like that because you get more space if you're, you know, not gluing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to just seal the bottom here. So let me pick a tape, and I'm probably going to process some of this out so that you guys aren't watching me struggle with washi. But I just kind of measure it like this, or you can just tear it, depends how much you want your pocket sealed. But as an example, I've got to find my pokey tool too. The parts where I'm struggling with washi. So just here, and then basically what I'm going to do is just, it doesn't have to be this large of a washi, but you may cover it up. So you may not want to use your really pretty washi, and just kind of seal that so you have that first pocket and you have all that space without worrying if things are going to fit. You get your full pocket. Okay, and I'm going to skip this one right here and just do this next one, because I'm going to show you how I bind mine. So again, I just kind of like to measure this up right here, and then I just snip it. And you can always fold it back on the next page, it's fine. I love that I figured out how to edit. So you guys aren't watching me struggle all the time with the tape. So again, I'm just gonna lock that down on that pocket because we're sealing that other pocket. Okay, so we've got this still, right? So what I did, and I did this a little different, is I took my washi tape and I sealed it that way. Now, if you guys remember my video, I'm gonna have I'll link all of this where I got this, and I do have a video on, this company had actually asked me to guest design for them, and this is where I got all this washi, and I'm obsessed. I've already seen their site, and I'm probably going to order some more. So not only did they gain like an influencer, they gained a customer too. So I'm going to, this is how I'm going to close my spine. Now, you're more than welcome to just glue that and bind it, but I'm going to bind mine like this. So I'm going to take my washi tape and seal it like this, and it's going to stay pretty well, because as you can see, that's how I got this one to close here. So instead of the typical, you know, binding it together with string, you can absolutely bind it with washi tape. This kind of tape is strong. So this one is more like a Scotch tape. I wouldn't say this is a normal washi. As you can see, it's clear, and it definitely sticks better. So once you get that off, you guys would not believe how long it took me to get that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just stick that on there. So I have this pretty binding. And this tape is not forgiving, so don't mess up. Let me just put that down here like this. And then I'm just gonna put it on the back. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect. It's supposed to be kind of junky, right? But there you go. You can have this, and it's going to seal it so that you can just do that, and it's not gonna come off. Well, this is a little loose here, but otherwise it's not gonna like fall apart or anything. Okay, and then if you want, you can just go ahead and add more tape on the bottom, and I'm just gonna use a different one right here just to seal the bottom. I'm gonna cut mine a little longer and just kind of eyeball measure it. So this is definitely not going to be a short video today. I usually try to keep my videos like under 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes, but all right. So now once that's all sealed up, which is pretty easy, it seems like it, but you have all this, and now we can start really going to town on this. So here is where I just really, and you can see, look, it's just plain cardstock. It doesn't matter what color you're using. And what I like to do is take this washi and cut it. And this is a really, really beautiful washi. If you don't have cutout washi, just use anything you have. But this one I can just cut out, and I'm just gonna do it really, not even pretty, just kind of, because it's really just gonna blend when I put it in or put it on. And you can fussy cut it and make it even prettier, but I'm just gonna kind of do the basic here. So you can see what it looks like. That's the cover, and just kind of put it on there. And it's just gonna really start to blend with the cover. I wish I kind of put that on a little more straight, but that's okay. And I'm gonna, so again, if you don't have, you know, washi, I mean, if you don't have printed paper, you can just use washi tape to cover your cardstock and make it just so pretty. So I really like this one. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one out. Again, I'm not gonna fussy cut it too nice because I kind of just want you guys to get the idea of what I did. You can obviously go back and really make this pretty. I would normally just kind of really get in there and cut it so that you have this really pretty unjagged look. So this is another one, and I did this in that one journal that I was just showing off the tape. Just had that off. You can really just find a place to place it, even if it's overlapping. Let me see. I'm just going to put that here. And I'm probably just going to put it right down here because you're not going to really see that when we cover up the page. So already looks so pretty, and you could add whatever you want. And that's basically what I did here, except I didn't have to add too much because I already had that cover, but I still love the way it looks just like that. All right, so let's start with the inside here. And again, I'm just doing this kind of sloppy, just kind of on there. So if you have to trim along the way, go ahead. We're gonna do this first page right here. And this is where, if you're still doing cardstock, you don't have pretty paper, just continue with the washi tape, okay? I just really wanted to give you an idea of how you can make your papers pretty. So now I'm gonna start using some scrapbook paper. So first page, this is gonna be size 3 by 6. So I'm going to go ahead and, I think I'm gonna use this side actually. And just put some papers down. And I'm just going to cover that. And it may overlap, and that's okay, because this is not meant to be perfect. And that's why I struggle with junk journals, is because I like my measurements perfect, but it doesn't have to be that way. So that side I had done a page, but this side I really just put tape on here. And you could see I used a bunch of different little tapes, and I just added some scrapbook paper on there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And you're really going to see this little thing come to life. And again, you can, if it's a little over, you can always just fold it back because we're literally just covering everything. Or you can cut it. So I'm just going to add this kind of right here on the edge. And take some of this and just fill the sides. Any open space, you can just fill it. And that was just a little piece to help me able to grab this. I'm just going to trim mine off, or you can fold it back. Mine's not really long enough to fold back, so I'm leaving it at that. So you already see that cardstock page is really just coming to life. Turn it up a little bit. And then this little paper here, just so you have, because you're not going to be able to really write with the washi tape. So I just kind of cut out a little thing here that's just 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Now again, this is something you kind of want to do on your own, but if you do, you know, if you want measurements, and I know my viewers like measurements and appreciate them, so you could obviously use any scrap on your paper, but this is just going to be, I'm just going to share some measurements just so you have them. And that's how I got that page. So we kind of just did that first page, and basically that's what I did. Okay, so now here, what you're going to see is these are options. So this is going to be 2 2x6 papers, and this was kind of out of my scraps that I had got while I was cutting these papers. So these are just going to be our little whatever pockets, if you want them to be pockets, or just whatever you want them to be. So if you look here, you're going to have that space, and that's kind of where you want to fill in your washi tape. So I'm going to go ahead and take this. Oh my goodness, this washi tape is really not easy to work with multiple ones on the desk. So I'm just going to take it, and I may have to trim this, but that's okay. Good thing about washi is you can rip it. So you can even, if you don't mind, you can fold it. If you do, then you can cut it. But it's really fine just that way. And you see how it has that spot, and then what you're going to do is you're going to cover it. So now you can make this a pocket, or you can make it a just flat. So I'm going to make mine flat because the other one I had a pocket open, and this one I did not. But you do have the option to do whatever you want. All right, so this side we're going to do the pocket. Now I'm going to show you a little funny trick. So this is not going to be big enough to cover the pocket, okay? So I'm going to show you what I did, and I'll show you. So if you see this here, I'm going to have this little space. So I actually added another layer. I added this pretty paper under it, and that's what kind of gave me this little vintage effect right here. You see how it's kind of in there on the ledge, so you can double up your washi tape and do that. This is definitely an easier way for me to work. It's just kind of roll it out while I'm working. It's just a matter if I get that. And this doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to kind of be hidden. Okay, and now for the pocket, we're just going to go ahead and glue it 3 times instead of all the way, just to get that little pocket. if you want, and to be brave, if you don't mind your doily a little crushed just for a fun look, then add that on here. I think what would be better would be, what do you call it? It's the Mod Podge. I think that would probably work better than this. And then just kind of put that on there. And you see how it's a little frumpy. So, but that's all right. I do like that. So we have that. And then you have your little side pocket right here. All right, and now we are moving along. Next page is just a 6x6 paper, and I have this numbered in order, so I didn't, because it's so confusing. There's so many pockets, and basically you're just going to fold it in half. So she had done hers a little differently, actually. She like did it this way and then put something inside. I liked this because you're already covering the page, and I don't know, I just felt this was an easier way. Now, if you want another pocket, what you could do is glue this and leave the top open, you know, and put a little thumb notch. Or you can just, you know, I don't know how much room you need, just glue it on like me. And really just put it on there. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to explain this. Like, I literally just sat here pasting and cutting and all that kind of stuff. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to show them how to do this. All right, so now you have your little flip out page. And if you want, you can do that to the other side too. But I'm just going to leave mine simple just to give you ideas of, you know, how you can do yours. And I did use some dies here just to add on the front. Love, love, love this collection. I'm going to use this one just because I could find it and it's kind of on the top. And that's going to go really pretty. So just like that. And then the next page, I basically slapped on another 3x6 paper. And I did add a washi on the top. Oh gosh, now I kind of wish I used the back. It's so hard to pick which side you want with this paper because it's so beautiful. So just make sure you can fold your pages before you glue it on, because it will hang off the top a little bit just because, you know, it's exact same size, but that's okay. Because when you start covering the other side, you don't even see it. Like when you close it, you don't even notice it. And it's always hard to decide which one to use, but I think I used this one. Honestly, the hardest part of this tutorial is getting this washi off while I'm filming. All right, and then I'm just gonna pop this one right in the middle. I wish I did have an overhead view for this. Don't worry guys, I am working on that again. Okay, and I'm putting that one right in the middle. And for this, I am going to just fold that back. And fold that back again. And I add a little, just a little something because, you know, you're not going to be, well, this washi you probably could write on, but I feel like you can write on just regular paper better. So that's why I put a little piece that you can write on for your memory keeping. I think it just will have to be sideways. I was trying to look for the other ticket stub, but I'm just going to put that right there. Because why not, right? So I've got that. All right, our last pages is just going to simply be a 3x12 paper. You can score it at the 6 inch. I actually put two together because I had 8x8, So, and then I did this. So if you want to do this way, like you don't have it, you would cut a 6-inch paper and a 6.5-inch paper and score at the 1/2-inch mark. But if not, just use a 3x12 and fold it in half, or score it at the 6-inch score line. And we're gonna just pop that on the top. Sometimes you have to modify if you just don't have it. And I love this paper. It's so pretty, these patterns right here. And what I liked about this one is just cutting it out. So I like just how it looks. I think this washi is so awesome to give you the option to cut, you know? So once you do that, kind of just undo it. And I'm not even going to fill this up crazy. I'm just cutting that out so I can have a little floral on the bottom, just to, you know, make the floral blend a bit. Holy washi wrapper all over my desk. Okay, and then the last page is just going to be a 5x6 paper. And I'm going to score this one because I don't trust myself to just bend it the right way. So at the 5-inch score, oops, wait a minute, make sure this is right. No, hold on. This, we're going to score it we're going to score it at the 3-inch score. I was so confused. Yes, at the 5-inch mark, we're going to score it at 3 inches. And that's going to give us that little fold. And we're going to glue that down. And that's going to finish this off. So just put that right here, and you can make this your pocket, or just leave the flap open like I'm doing. These are actually a lot of fun to make. I really, really enjoy seeing the outcome of this, just kind of sticking it all together and not having to worry too much about your measurements. But again, I am a little bit of a freak, and I do like to have everything measured. So here I added the washi, but I really love the swans, so I don't want to cover them, but I am going to add just, oh, I even love that. Maybe I'll just put one here. Yeah, this looks actually perfect to put on there. So I'm going to cut that out. All right, and I'm just going to put this, I think, right here, just because it needs a little something. I'm just going to blend in with that, and love that. So you could, again, you could put washi if you don't really, like if you're using the cardstock and you need it, just cover it with the washi tape. So here we go. We've got this pretty journal, and we've got the side pocket, another pocket on top. We've got, put that a little too close, got this little flip page. You should have another little side pocket in there. You've got this flip and this. So anyway, the point is this, is you don't have to make your journal like me. These are just really some fun techniques that you can use in your journals, or, you know, cardstock, just to really make your album come to life without having to use scrapbook paper and things like that. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. These are so much fun to make. I hope you enjoyed this, aside from the washi mess. All right, guys, thank you.